Hello, hello. Happy Tuesday. There's something on my phone. That's weird. Welcome. I'm late. First of all, my husband didn't get home till later. I got home late. And then he ate dinner on the couch while we watched an episode of The Resident. And so, of course, I'm arriving later than normal. But I'm excited to be here. We do not have the mushroom kit. I was going to try to see if I had that one here. I don't have that one here. So we're crafting this one and it's new. I just added it. It's like a watering pitcher. It's super cute, little plants. I have a spot in my laundry room that I want to put this where there's currently bunnies. And when the bunnies go, this will go in its place. Hello, everyone. Hello, hello. Welcome. Come on in, one and all. Oh, gosh. Hello, everyone. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Hi, you guys. So our dog's over there. She's chomping on her food. The dog that I don't like, according to many. Actually, we love her. We just, like, it is what it is. I have to give my haters something to gossip about. April knows what I'm talking about. Hello, Karen Lewis. Hello, everyone. Your voice doesn't match. You've logged out twice. I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say. Is anyone else having issues? Hello, Kim Farmer. Hi, you guys. Cute mug. It says squirrel. I did not know that this is from the movie Up. I had never seen the movie Up. And then I watched the movie Up. And then I was like, oh, gosh, that makes so much sense. Oh, gosh. So do I. Hello, Pam. Hello, everyone. Late night crafting. Yes. Yes, I'm sure I will explain it again. Let me double check myself. Oh. I didn't hit the right button. Mine looks fine. Mine looks absolutely fine. You can tell Dixie is very cared for and loved. Julie, that is the most spoiled dog on the planet. And if you ask my sister, it's not matching. I don't know what's going on. I just checked mine. Mine's fine. Mine's fine. You can't wait to see me paint this. I'm super excited too. This is our backup plan. If anyone's having problems, go out, close your app. If you're not sure what that looks like, close your app, reload the Facebook app, and come back and see if that fixed it. You love Right Done mugs? I do too. So I just gave our sweet little doggy fresh water. She's got her expensive food from the Badlands from Katherine Heigl. There's not a single human on the planet that spends the amount of money or time or energy on a dog that they do not like. And my haters know who they are. I just couldn't help myself with my petty patty self. You're out of sync. Love this kit. Me too. My coffee is fabulous tonight. Fabulous tonight. Matching, not Marvin. What? What? Matching, not Marvin. Oh, was it a typo? That's okay. My face is in so much pain right now. It's cancer treatment. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. My lips are matching everything that I'm saying on my iPad. Patty Patty and Worthless Wendy. You know you gotta love it. Me and April were talking about it today. So if you guys don't like the gossip and like all the stuff, you can fast forward and just craft this. But listen, I am here for the sarcasm and the entertainment on an occasion. I do get a little fiery. It is what it is. Oh my gosh. I just had a bunch of screenshots like sent to me that I just keep forwarding to my attorneys. And when I was showing photos last night, apparently they were the topic of conversation by the crazy Christines. That's what I refer to them as, the crazy Christines. And it's become a bit of a fun thing that my sister and I do every now and then. We just like go and like snoop around and we're like, what are the crazies up to today? And I don't want to be a mean girl because I'm not like that, but I'm just fascinated by the sheer level of like dedication that these people create. And they're fans. They're huge fans of mine. And I'm just so honored that they give me nicknames. They post about me. And I think that it's so fascinating. So I have to just laugh about it. So today I was reading some stuff that we were looking at. And I've developed this alter ego. And I have an accent. And then I read the stuff in the accent. And I darn near peed my pants today. Okay. My sister almost fell out of the car. Like, I'm not even kidding when I tell you this. So the fact that they watch what I do, and like when I was showing photos of like what I had shared, the screenshots were in my camera roll. They be screenshotting that, like circling it. I'm like, no one cares about you, boo. But if you're going to watch, I'm going to give you entertainment. Okay. So I can be real petty. And my name's not Patty, but I could be real petty. And so, sometimes we're here for the petty. Sometimes we're not. Sometimes we act like children to humor ourselves, and sometimes we don't. But on a lighter note, I mean, sometimes you just have to laugh about things in a really crappy situation. So I find it absolutely dumbfounding. Oh my gosh. Do we have HBO Max? We do not have Sling. We do not have HBO Max. I don't think. I mean, you're putting me on the spot right now. I don't even know. I'd have to look it up and see. I don't think so. Give them something to talk about. Oh my God. I don't have to do anything. Isn't that funny? I don't have to do anything. What did they say? We need electroshock therapy. That was a good one. I just can't. Did you watch the Nickelodeon documentary? I did not, but I do want to. I did not. So normally when I call out people who are bullies and, ridiculous, I don't typically do it here, but I've been known to throw some controversy every now and then with my conversations right before we do a craft, but y'all, I'm just like, I don't even know. That's why you need it. I'm thinking they have that reversed. Maybe they need, I don't know. Are they commenting on my page? No, they're cowards. They listen. What they don't realize is that I have no desire whatsoever to enter into the realm of anything related to that aspect of drama in my life. But here's the thing. I am a justice seeker. I am not one to back down. I am tight-lipped when I need to be, but then, get me on a good day. And I've just had enough. So, I have this Facebook group. Listen, it's 10:22 here. For some of y'all, this is the late hour. This is the late hour. And for some of y'all, you're not going to make it through the craft. Okay. But here's the thing. I have this Facebook group and this is part of the closure in life. I have this Facebook group I created and, like, you can't hide anything. You can't hide anything, because when people want to find stuff out, they will literally search you out. And it's kind of crazy because I don't even live that fascinating of a life. Okay. I don't have a very fascinating life. Now, listen, other people around me have a more fascinating life than I do. Okay. I'm very boring. I don't know why. I'm just not the party girl. I'm not the life of the party. But I will have a good conversation that could last hours and hours and hours. So for many, many, many years, I say many years, it's been like 2.5 years now. There was drama. There was some drama. There's attorneys involved. There's stuff in the closets. Then the closets have no doors, like, so it's for all the world to see because it's all public. And so people follow me not because they like me. Okay, they're following because they want to see the outcome. They follow other people because they want to see the outcome. And once they figure the outcome out, and they have like endured patience, they're going to realize that all the banker's boxes and all the 250 videos and all of the little things in my big old box of evidence will all be cast to light at one point in time, because I don't lie, number one. Number two, I don't play games. And I can also have some dignity about myself. Okay. So, I got on a little tirade responding publicly and on my business page, because it was all kind of intertwined. And then I feel like I kind of got past that, right? Got past it. But then there's another person who's kind of like a party to all of this that I don't really associate with anymore, that no matter what happens, somehow or another, I get drug into the middle of it. It must be so-and-so's followers. It must be those so-and-so people. Like, I don't put people out on foot patrol, okay? I ain't got time, nor do I care to put people out on foot patrol. And by foot patrol, that means I don't put people out to go and like snoop around and spy. Listen, I can do that all on my own because I love the adventure, okay? So there's these people, there's a handful that don't even deserve to be recognized. But I like to humor myself every now and then. And I love a good, I don't know what the word for it is. Would it be I love a little like adventure every now and then of like, let's go explore, okay? Because I am in a totally different place in my life where I can look at that stuff and think, gosh, bless their souls, okay? Because therapy, mental help is good for the soul. So anyways, so I created this Facebook group, and I go in this Facebook group and I basically debunk all of the things, okay? I debunk all of the rumors, all of the gossip, all of the things going on. And I typically do a live video, and I have a lot to share. Sometimes I'm repeating myself, sometimes I'm not. So I go into this group and I literally just share what's going on. Now, this group is about me talking about me and myself and I 99% of the time. But other people like to drag in my husband's choices, my husband's record. I don't know, like a lot of things in his life. He's 45 now. And I'm like, that's just ridiculous, because this isn't about him. It's about the other people. Okay. So nevertheless, I go in this group. I share the truth. And I really, truly thought that, this last time I made this video, and I think it was in November. This last time I did a video and I was like, what you've been told ain't true. Here's the facts. I'm done, and I'm going to let the attorneys deal with it. And I'm just going to move on with my life. Okay. But I can't resist calling out a bully. So I made a post in January and I was like, lesson of the day, don't be like these goons, okay? And so I start sharing, like, you know, you expose the bullies, maybe they would stop, they would like rethink themselves. I mean, after all, they're grandparents, you know, at least one of them is. No, these people don't care. They don't care. They have no class. They have no respect for nothing. And they're not examples of anybody that I would want to lead my life. Okay. So nevertheless, I left that post there and I'm like, all is good. It starts to become really peaceful. It starts to become really quiet. And then it starts again. And it starts again because somehow I am yet again to blame for all my followers for someone else's loss of their page, demonetization, all of these things. Then they start doing things and publicizing their life. And then the public has opinions, must be my ugly followers. It's ridiculous. It's child's play, first of all. So petty patty here, you know. I like to call out all the things. Number one, we're women who like to be entertained. Number one, okay? If you're a part of this community, number two, you have a voice, you can use it. You have a brain, use it. You have your own opinion, use it. Even if it's not mine, I don't really care. Let's be real. I would rather you have your opinion that differs from me than you feel like you're being under mind control, okay? So differ away. I don't care. Because I think that's balance. I think we all need balance. And that's just, you know, how the world works. It's how the world revolves. We are all created differently. But we can all come together in unity in one thing that we have common ground on. Okay. And that's usually sometimes common interest. Many of you people I will never meet in real life. Many of you I will never meet. Many of you could care less about the conversation we're having right now. And you're like, move along. We will. But listen, we're having coffee and conversation. Okay. So, here lately, the pot's been stirred because the accusations are constantly thrown, and then people see my name dropped or accusations made, and they're like, no one's even here doing that. But here's the thing. Here's the kicker. What I will never understand, because some of y'all don't even understand the backstory, and you're like, what are you talking about? Listen, I don't even have time to go into all the details, okay? But here's what I do know. Number one, I don't care who you follow. I don't care who you follow. I'm not going to make you make a choice. I'm not going to tell you to be here or there. I'm not going to tell you that the devil owns the fence. I'm not going to tell you that you can't be a part of this community and not be a part of something else. If you want to watch whatever you want to watch, that's on you, boo, because you know why? It's your brain. It's your time. You pay your phone bill. You pay your internet. You drive to wherever you use the free Wi-Fi. I have no control. Okay. What I will say is this, is when you come here and you gather here, let's just have a good time, right? Let's have a good time. So I don't care where you follow. I don't care who you like. I don't care. I don't. Honestly, I don't. I don't even care if you're here because you're snooping. Hope you find it entertaining, okay? But that's part of the free country we live in, is you don't have to be under the mind control of someone. You're allowed to think for yourself here. If I don't agree with you, I'm going to say, I disagree. I'm going to tell you, I don't like that color. I'm going to tell you, you can do that, but I'm going to do something different. And I'm going to try to encourage you to find your own self-expression, because that's what you should do, okay? And that's called empowerment of others. And what happens in other places on the internet is control. It's belittlement. It's nasty. It's degrading. It's self-righteous. And I just can't do that, okay? So I'm not going to tell you you can't be here. If you harass me, I might tell you you can't be here. But I don't care who you follow. And so what happens is there's people who are a part of this community that are also a part of that other community. And they like that other community too. And they find value from that other community. But as soon as that other person notices something that doesn't sit well with them and they speak up, because they are a part of this community, they're automatically targeted and they're treated differently. And that's not how we operate here. And so I don't care who you follow. But that's where the little pot stirring has stepped in here recently. And so guess what? It's taken me down a little path. Let me go see what I've been missing so I can school myself on an understanding so that I am armed with knowledge. So the group that I have, I've not made any new posts. I've literally thought of making posts like how to use Facebook properly, how to properly post to your timeline, what's appropriate for public discussion, what's not appropriate for public discussion, how to be a good human. I've literally thought of doing an entire how-to series, but then I realized that it wouldn't matter because no matter what I say, no matter what I do to try to be like a helper, people will always be dissatisfied. People will always want a refund, even from good advice. It's a fact. I'm telling you the truth here. People will want a refund for good advice, okay? And they'll want a refund for free good advice. That's how people are these days. Some of y'all may have encountered some of those people. So anyways, I'm trying to catch you up to speed with why on earth I am just so like, what the heck? So this latest post is from January, calling out the bullies, okay? Body shaming, just nasty people, okay, that they are. And I expose it. I call it what it is. They don't show up. Do you know what they do instead? They go to their Facebook feed. They go to their Facebook feed, which is theirs. Their right to do so on a public platform, okay? And they post so that everyone can see it, right? I'm in the middle of a lawsuit, not with them, but with other people and what they've influenced by their words and how it's impacted people. And so all of this is just evidence that goes to show that this is what is bred from that atmosphere. And it's not just them, there's multiple people. And so it just gets forwarded along. Will it ever be used? Probably not, but it's great to show an understanding of a timeline. It's great to show how this is getting mapped out because that's how these things work. And it's part of the discovery phase, okay? So you would think that these people would be on their best behavior. Oh, no. See, those people enjoy the attention because they also are broken people. They're lashing out, they're saying things, they're posting godly things, but then they're absolutely body shaming other people, saying things like, I abuse my dog. It's ridiculous, quite honestly. But it is their opinion. I'll give it to them. It is on their profile. However, it is also public for viewing of everyone. Now, you can do a simple Google search without being logged into Facebook and see any page that you may or may not have been blocked from seeing. You don't have to be logged in, and you can go see it. A lot of people don't know that. And so that's the downside of all of your information being on Facebook. You block people, they can still find you. There's no safeguards, really. IP addresses should be blocked, not just profiles. This would be my 2 cents to offer to Facebook in the future, to safeguard people, not just like in a petty sense, but like in the real sense of like someone is bothering you or someone, you know what I'm saying? Like you're comfortable with something. So you can see all this stuff. I didn't know a lot of this stuff until I learned from my attorneys that that's a lot of how you can access social profiles without being logged in. You could see it all. So anyways, so here lately, there's like this post in my group that has like 700 posts. People think I should shut the group down. People think that I should be proactive. People think that if I'm truly done, I should, be done. Here's the problem. I'm torn in that sense of like, what should I do? Because for me personally, people who don't know the backstory and encounter this other person and they watch past videos and they hear all the things, I want them to maybe be like, maybe it's that deep for them that they do their homework and search out the truth. I don't know. Could be. Maybe it couldn't be. And so there is all these defamatory videos that are still living on the internet about me from 2021. That's right, 2021. And if you don't know how Facebook works on search and discovery, on recommendations. I've recently had people's videos be recommended to me that are super old. They're not new. I don't know what's going on with Facebook. But it's based on like the fact that maybe I watch a lot of tutorials. So I think that's probably why Facebook is showing me stuff that's probably older. They've run out of stuff to show me. So should I care what people think about me? No. No, I should not. And no, I really do not. But what I do know is that I have young women, young ladies, I have grandchildren that I want them to know what it looks like to stand up for yourself and not be a doormat to society and the opinions of strangers. So I leave it. I leave the truth. Does it look classy? Probably not. Does it paint me in a bad light if you don't know the context? Most likely. But what I do know is this, is unfortunately everything I've said is the truth. And it's embarrassing. It's really difficult. It's really hard. And I just go on with life. And there will never really truly be this breakaway until there is full closure. So if I'm going to have to go down this path, I have my own way of coping and dealing with it. And I find that sarcasm and humor is one of the ways that I do that. And maybe some people don't understand that. Maybe some people do. I could let it emotionally harm me and send me into a depression because I could believe all the things that are said about me and I can just become depressed and broken, or I can be like, that's a lie about me. It's not true. Let's go with this. And so I am choosing to be empowered by the negativity to, number one, expose it. Number two, make light of it. Try to find some sort of sense of humor in it because it isn't going away. Oh, don't look at it. Don't pay attention to it. I'm in the middle of a lawsuit. It's not like I can just completely check out and no one understands that. But when you have someone that defames you for 2 years, 2 years, and it's so public and it's so defamatory, there's not enough truth to combat the lies that were flying or the gossip or the, you know what I'm saying? Like I would have been doing it all day long because it's one thing to come out of this person's mouth, but it's another thing when the people in the community of that person is also like going with it like it's true. And then they're spreading the things. And so I just had to realize that there is nothing I will ever do to satisfy people. People are not going to like me. And you know what? My attorney told me that. People are not going to like you, Amber. People are going to watch you and still not like you. And I'm like, you're right. Absolutely, you are 100% right. So I'm going to be me. I'm going to be me. Sometimes I'm going to be super chatty. Sometimes I'm going to be up late at night. Sometimes I'm going to be drinking my coffee. Sometimes I'm not. Sometimes I'm going to be on time. Sometimes I'm going to be late. Sometimes I'm not going to wash my hair. Sometimes I'm going to tell you random stories that you probably have no idea the context of it. But for me, I'm being myself. I'm being myself. And part of me being myself is telling you, listen, there are some crazy Christines in this world. Why am I calling them crazy Christines? Because their behavior is ridiculous. It is absolutely ridiculous. I ain't never seen anything like it. And honestly, I feel like it's a byproduct of like a number of things. I feel like broken people hurt other people. And that is a true statement. And that's a lot of why people craft and paint and they sew or they crochet. It's because it's fighting a depression. It's fighting the consequences of maybe choices that they've made. It's fighting a loss that they've had. It's combating some sort of consequence or grief. Any kind of anything. And so that can't be an excuse for people to get away with their poor behavior. Is they're broken, they're hurt. So let's have leniency. That is mercy and that is grace. And there's a lot of that that's happening that no one really knows about because I don't say a lot of things. I don't say anything. People will send me screenshots. They'll send me messages. They'll tell me these things and then I'll just forward it. And then I just have to wait. And one of the things that I learned is that Christians shouldn't sue other Christians. So that has been one of the main topics of what a terrible Christian I am or what a terrible person that I am because I'm suing someone. And what they fail to realize is that this suit is a response. It's a response. A false allegation was made. I was drugged through the court system, tied up in court, lots of attorney's fees. The case was dismissed and I am countersuing that person. Why? Because I'm fed up. I'm not a bad Christian. I'm not a bad person. And I don't think that anyone should ever bully anyone or make them feel less than because they make a personal choice of their own by throwing in religion. And that's why people don't like Christians. These are facts. These are true statements. People don't like other Christians and they're turned off by it because that's what we do is every answer in the world must be a scripture thrown at someone or some reason why they're terrible, awful. Y'all, any normal person would probably get up every day with the things that I've encountered in the past 2.5 years and they would probably feel defeated because then I have to show my face on here. So, I'm going to talk about the things that are important, that empower people. Like, number one, don't let other Christians throw scripture at you to corner you and tell you're a bad Christian because you're responding, trying to, expose the truth in a really bad situation of injustice. That's reality. And so I battle that in my own way, in a different way. So I guess the moral of the story is don't let someone back you in a corner and silence you by manipulative bullying or under the realm of the Lord. Because God don't play that way. I am a believer and I do know that God has a sense of humor. Otherwise, he would not have created us so different from each other. And that is how I feel about it. It's a perspective thing. So anyways, so I'm not going to be cornered into just being silent. So I'm referred to here recently as Petty Patty. I love it. I'm here for it. After all, I am wearing a shirt that says expensive, difficult, and talks back. So there's that. I'm an entrepreneur who is like a dream chaser, and I show up in a non-conventional way that is probably not like what people would expect. I've referred to as trashy and not classy. I just love it. Listen, classy is not necessarily the articles of clothing that you wear, the way that you dress yourselves. Being classy also has to do with your character. You can be the most well-dressed person on the planet and be super trashy. You could be a homeless person and have the most class of anyone you will probably ever encounter. And I know that's probably not a good example to give, but what I'm saying to you is this. Each one of us are created very differently, and we all have good values and bad values. The choices that we make is our behavior. Those are choices. And so we have to make better choices in our behavior. And when you choose to constantly go and degrade people, you're going to get pushback. You're going to get someone who calls you on it. Now, here's the thing. My group is also a little bit of a discussion forum, okay? People be coming in there with discussions. They got questions. They got questions because they're just like, a lot of people are so mesmerized by what they're witnessing that they just cannot understand. How is there no justice here? No one understands it. Even I do not understand it. But you know what? It's playing out for the world to see. And I have nothing to do with it. And so it's really sad. It's really sad because the writing's on the wall and it's not even about me anymore. It's all being written. And so I'm really sad for that. I'm really hoping that things change. But when we have people in a community who are tainted with opposition and seek more of a division rather than a unification, that's where you get people that go kind of haywire. I am so very proud of this community in so many ways that we have here. We have eliminated a lot of people in the past 2 years. I've gone down a different path. I have focused more on the people and serving the people and the products and the teaching rather than all the hype of the vanity numbers. I would rather have 3 people here that take something meaningful away than 3,000 people. And that is when you come to the realization of the inner workings of why do you do what you do. I do what I do to run a business, but I also do what I do to empower and pour into people. I'm not perfect, but I do believe that I have something to offer. I'm an honest person. I may have facial expressions. Sometimes I wash my hair. Sometimes I don't wash my hair. I have a little bit of a sweater obsession. I put my hat in the dishwasher because I just can't part ways with it. I love it so much. I have my own personality. I have my own identity, and I'm very confident in that. And so I'm not going to let people steal that from me. But what I will do is speak up for myself. So on this festive occasion, I just feel like, you know what? I am feisty. I am able to speak up for myself. And I try to do it in a way that if I say something and I stand up for myself, how does that look to other people? What example am I setting? Am I going to be proud of myself in like a year from now? I really truly feel like I am very proud of myself. I've endured the biggest whipping post of social media in the past 2 years, and I am on the other side of it. Doesn't mean that there's not going to be remnants of that thing that trickles in, because it will rear its ugly head. And when it does, I just have to be like, you're not going to believe this. And move on. But the fact that there are several humans on this planet that just pick apart every little thing. Y'all, they pick apart things like my dog. I don't like dogs. That doesn't mean that I am not going to care for my dog. We've had her for like 13 years. She's so extra. I mean, come on. Have you looked up the Badlands Ranch dog food? It's not cheap. She has allergies. She's terrified of herself. She's terrified of the rain. Can't put her outside because it's abusive. Put her out there in the downpour and people are going to report. These people think that I am like, what? Did you really just type that on Facebook and write that nonsense out? Like, you should be ashamed of yourself. You're so, like, it's embarrassing. And why do they do it? Because they're broken people. They're picking apart things like my dog being afraid of the rain, me putting her outside and not going to rush and get her like it is some abusive situation. That is a fact. That's a fact. Petty, that's petty. Okay? What's not petty is when someone outright tells you a lie and you refuse to accept it and admit that you were wrong and all the evidence is staring you in your face. But you're more worried about my dog and whether or not we care about her. Listen, it will be a really sad day when something happens to that animal. But I will not be yippee skippy to go get another one. Not going to be yippee skippy to go get another one. But that queen is sitting right now on a sofa in a pile of blankets in her luxury bed in this great big house with a huge fenced in backyard, living her best life with her prescription Apoquil over across on the bar. She goes and gets a spa day. People like this who will find anything they can to ridicule you over just need to get a life. And if you're encountering those people, the best thing you can do is either stand up to them and let them know who they are or have nothing to do with them. Because there's not a single thing that you can do that's going to change their outlook on you. They don't like you. They never will. And those are true statements. These ladies are never going to like me. And it don't matter if I was completely reformed and started behaving in a different way that was not myself. I'm never going to win them over. But I'm going to make darn sure that they're busy bothering me and not bothering others. Because people like that are chronic bullies. And that's how I feel about trolls and bullies. I'd rather have them busy with me than them over bothering somebody else who's not strong enough to deal with those things. And so, yeah, that's right. I have a backbone. I have a good, thick skin. I ain't got time for it. But the fact that they screenshot my video that has like screenshots of their posts that are outright bullying posts with false information. My attorneys cannot believe, like, they just cannot understand the insanity. They're like, who does this? Unstable people do this. It's sad. It's super sad. Fake names too, that's right. Marion O'Brien, be mad. I'm so sorry, Marion. Do they even know you? No. No. They don't know me. They don't know me. What's shaking, bacon? What's up, Vicky? Coming in late. What's happening? Elizabeth, we're just chatting it up. Okay. I was going to craft this thing. But then I was like trying to give like it's like a topic that I really wanted to talk about, but I'm like, some people don't encounter this and they don't even really understand it. And so it doesn't really apply to them. But there are people who, like, for example, can we just have this conversation really quick? there are people who trust so easy. I'm a really good person that tries to trust others. I'm like, I will give you the benefit of the doubt. I will literally I'll be like, yeah, you're good. And then I trust you. I let you lay the foundation of distrust. I don't automatically assume that you are going to be untrustworthy. So that's taken me a lot to get to that point. So I don't really have this problem with like welcoming people in and being like, yeah, we're good. And then I start to see like what's going on. And then I will like say something. First, I'll start to create distance. And then I will just be like, okay, we need to have a talk. But there are people who are watching or will watch who have been taken advantage by someone on the internet. There are scam artists that will stop at nothing to take advantage of people. There are people who will pretend to be people because women are men are preyed upon as well, but so are women. Women are more likely to be compassionate towards others and give people more of a line of like trust than men. And of course, I don't know that that's a proven thing. I'm saying that's what I've observed in my 45 years of living my human life. Women have a hard time saying no to a sad story or compliments or saying like, if you say no to someone now, it's like, oh, they're rude, they're nasty, they're ugly, they're just an angry human. So if women are frowned upon for just saying no, thank you, or no, or I'm not interested, and then we're berated until we comply. Has anyone else ever felt that way? Like, oh my gosh, I feel that way. That's why you say life, you're 66, you have 6 months to live. And that's why I say life is short. Life is short. Life is 100% short. I don't know what you're referencing. Like, life is short every day, even for healthy people. Life is short. It's a fact. Your days are numbered on this planet. Nevertheless, I'm going to go back to what I was saying. So there's people on the internet who fit certain demographics. Your profile may say that you're widowed. It may say that you're divorced. There's people on the prowl. There are people who go online. This is how the scammers work, y'all. They'll go online and they'll search common names. Mary Smith, the last name Jones, Amanda, common names, Kim, Jennifer, like very common names. If these are your names, I'm an Amber, so I'm just saying. So what happens is they find you through searches, or they buy your information from data leaks. And then they start to figure out how to be they have all day. They have all day to be a scammer. They're trying to figure out who you are, what you're posting about, what you're liking. And then they send you they get your phone number and then they send you a text message. And then they send you, and you're like, oh, sorry, wrong person. They're like, oh, I'm so sorry. You are just the kindest, sweetest soul that no one's ever been so kind to me. They prey on you. A person that I just spoke to last week was telling me a story about how they were preyed upon in that manner. They were sent a text message. They opened it. It was a picture of like a car or something. And then they responded and said, I'm sorry, this is the wrong person. And it struck up a conversation that led to this person saying, hey, by the way, I actually work in investing. I could help invest your money for you. True story. Random, so sorry, texted the wrong person. We're preyed upon by scammers. So, how do we work on being better humans to say, no, thank you, and mean it, and not continue oh, you're so sweet. This is just weird. How does it go from I sent you a picture to the wrong number to now you're wanting to invest my money? Run far, run fast. That is a joke. That is a scam. People are not going to just drop in your text message on an accident and be like, let me invest your money. No, they're preying on people. They're buying up phone numbers from people. They're buying up data that's been leaked. So when we get these encounters with people who come at us, whether it's honest or not honest, we have to be willing to have the backbone to say enough and stand up for that, right? So whether it's the scammers or the people who have their own opinions or the people who don't like you, it doesn't matter. It doesn't really matter. But you're all petty. Marion, honey, you said you had 6 months to live. Are you using the life is short card here to be just sassy? That's what you said. Marion, you have 6 months to live. You said that, not me. You did. You said life is short. She said it. I'm just saying. I'm not trying to be sassy here. I'm literally trying to be legit.
You should probably find something better to do with your time.
Right? I was going to say that too. So Marion, your time is very valuable. And if you believe that we're all petty here, honey, you are staying in the petty. Bless it. Okay. So Marion, get yourself off of the page and go find the most, and listen, maybe this is one of your bucket list things where you're like, let me go find a random page and complain. Maybe you're feeling brave. I don't know. Don't know. But Lene, she did say that. I don't know who you were talking about, Marion. That's why life is short, sis. You need to go. I'm talking about you empowering yourself. It doesn't matter all the ins and outs of what I'm saying. I'm giving you some context. Okay. A little bit of context. There are haters on the world. Okay. And you're being a hater on my page. But I also want to empower you to do better. Okay. So I want you to find value in your life is short mindset. Okay. Everyone should be living life like life is short, but we don't live life is short and be a doormat. Okay. So Marion, I need you to make a list of all the special important things that you want to do in your 6 months that you have to live, and being on Facebook, honest to God, for me would not be one of those, because Facebook sometimes is one of the most toxic places that you can hang out, especially when you're living life is short. And that's my advice. But anyways, you don't think she knows what she's saying? Maybe she don't. I don't know. But the people who came in the beginning, they were here for the whole conversation. They followed along what I was trying to say. And then I'm trying to say, hey, listen, life sucks. So basically the moral of the story is life sucks. People come for you. Could be on the internet, could be at work, could be your family, could be a neighbor, could be someone in the car rider line at your kid's school. I don't know. People be coming. Either you can choose to be a doormat or you can choose to stand up for yourself. And if you stand up for yourself, then at some point in time, you just have to be like, listen, I'm going to try my best to not encounter people like that. Barb Smith says, I just woke back up. My face. Crystal, I've been trying really hard to check my face. Just saying. Maybe that's how you can catch me, is taking a nap. I mean, maybe. I don't know. Anyways, I have people that are literally hating on me because I have a dog that needed to go outside and it was raining at the same time. Don't choke on your drink. That did happen. son is sitting, like, he doesn't know any of this stuff, okay?
No, it's just because I've been on the internet, like, I'm on Discord and stuff. I've been threatened with way worse over, like, less. I'm just like...
I am a terrible human because I let Dixie out and it was pouring down rain. You know how she doesn't like the rain?
Yeah.
So she just won't even leave the porch.
Well...
But somehow that became that I was an animal abuser.
Well, we do not want our animal abusing our carpets and our floors.
That is a true story. That's right.
A little bit of water, it's no different than a bath. I don't think she just doesn't like the rain. I don't like the rain either.
Me either. Me either.
Difference is I'm civilized enough to not pee on the floor. So
Good for you, Caden. Good for you. You're civilized. That is actually Caden. That is not Dylan.
That's awful. Leave my mom alone, guys.
Oh, it's not them. I'm just
No, I know.
It's not them.
I was like, man.
But they're watching though.
Oh no, I know. That's what I mean.
I was just basically giving them the pep talk of like advice. Like, it doesn't matter what you say or do, people are not going to like you.
I don't know. If I had 6 months to live, I'd probably...
Would not be spending it on Facebook.
Well, I'd also probably try not to spend it complaining because that just really wouldn't get me anywhere.
That would be true. That is really good advice.
I just personally wouldn't sit there and complain.
Everyone's saying hello, Caden. What are you drinking?
Lemonade.
Oh, interesting. I always wonder sometimes if Dixie could talk. Do you ever think about that? When she's like sitting at her bowl and she's like creeping up on it, I just wonder what she's thinking. Yo, she's just weird.
If I state my honest opinion on this, I'm going to sound mean.
Don't sound mean then.
I'll try not to. I think...
It's like when she's trying to jump on the couch and she's like trying and then she's like attempting and then she's like doesn't quite make it.
The way I describe that dog is the lights are on, but not
like that.
So,
but is she not a good dog?
she is. She's just really
She is
stupid.
very gentle. She is very like good with kids.
Yeah, she's great. She's just really stupid.
She's not
She's
there.
not smart at all.
She's not. That is not her fault.
It's like...
She might. I don't know.
I genuinely think she lacks the mental capacity to be mean to anyone.
Oh, great, Amber. Now the Christine. Listen, the Christines are the ones that literally want to have me reported for animal abuse.
Oh my gosh.
For putting her outside. Do you guys remember that day? I put her outside. It was raining. And then I just was like, she's just like... We have a luxury back porch. There's like a little egg chair with blankets and stuff. And she likes to get up there and lounge. She is sitting poolside. She's not super extra terrified, but she was out there just fine lounging. But I did leave her out there and she did survive and she still was wagging her tail when I got home today. Anyways.
Yeah, I don't know if I have to tell you guys, but there's like people who do like a lot worse to animals. So,
Oh, yeah.
So I mean, I think if we put our dog out in the rain for like 5 minutes, I think maybe that it could probably just be overlooked or just not commented on at all. It's just, in my opinion, not really anyone.
Where did we go the other night?
I don't remember leaving the house for a while.
No, we went somewhere.
We went to Walmart.
We did.
We
went to Walmart, but we went somewhere and we left her outside.
No, what?
And we came home. You don't remember? And she was sitting in the chair, wrapped up in the blanket.
She's always
I know, nothing's different. It's just new location. Yeah. Anyways.
That dog lives like royalty.
Did Cade color his hair? He did. He did. He did like a black mixed with purple. It looks really good. It looks really good. All right, y'all, these are super simple. I'm sure we'll chat while we craft, but y'all, I can't multitask anymore. I don't know what's happened to me. I used to be really good at it. That is true. All right, so this is the back, and these pieces go on here. This one, these are tabbed together. You can take these apart. I'm gonna paint them all together. And you're just gonna glue this on, and they're all like that. So this is new. It's really, really cute. It's really, really cute. Oh Lord, Dixie is calling SPCA. She might even have a cell phone over there on the couch. They want to see your hair.
All right. I already had to do this once. I'm not doing it again. No, I'm joking. I'll show you guys. Hello. Hi.
So he has super dark purpley.
I put it. Just grab some. Take it.
Like, I don't know if you can see. There's like purple hues in it. It's more noticeable on the ends. There, that was a good.
Thank you.
Yes. Yes. So court is still happening? For my case, yes. For my husband's case, no. But I still can't talk about that because the other person dropped it. And now we get to pursue that one for, again, falsehoods, intimidation, everything else so that they can, whatever. There are little embellishments right here. Yeah, my case is going to be, like, they've already told me that my case takes a really long time. My case has been active and, like, in pursuit since November of 2022. So we've already surpassed November of 2023. We're probably not even going to be there November of 2024. It's really unfortunate. So when people talk about how, like, court cases can take, like, sometimes years, absolutely. But there's so much evidence to go through that it is what it is. But I just want to move on.
There's maybe too much evidence.
You still never got your spindle kit or your snowman done? Girl, get busy. Get busy. What did you say?
You think he sent too much evidence?
No.
Not enough?
No, there's more than enough.
Oh. Yeah. That sounds about right.
But okay, the picture is going to be, this is Blue Mist. The leaves are going to be light avocado. I'm just going to go over the colors really quick. If you're at this point, I will put the like timestamp in there. Not saying we're not going to have other conversations while we craft this, but like, I just want you to be aware. This is marigold. This is cinnamon stick, white, Snow White, and then we have a burnt umber. I'm going to do the Stan's brown. I'm going to do these flower pots, the terracotta color, and I'm going to do white accents with the little flourishes, which is like these little thingies here. I'm going to do those white. It's going to be really cute. So this is going to be very simple. Here's the thing. Most people don't know, but they think that the case is just that I want money. I will never get a dime. I'm 99.999% certain that I'm not going to recoup a dime. But what it does do is show other people that it doesn't matter who it is that does it. You're not a doormat to people, especially people who are blood related to you. And it really sucks when you have to stand up for yourself. But when there is 250 videos and there is 250 instances of not true stories. And then the funnel that comes from that, I'm not just gonna, like, I've turned the cheek. I have said things, like, I've given grace. But then you take me to court and you accuse me of something? Please. Please. That was the tipping point for me. All these videos, all this stuff that's been said, and I didn't do a thing about it, had all of the information, and you want my group shut down. That's what happened, y'all. It wasn't about their safety. It wasn't about anything. But what it did do was open up a can of worms of other information that we discovered. Now, I wish that I could write a book and tell the whole story, but you know what? It's just, like I said, I'm not really necessarily here to be like, told you so, or any of those things. And I really don't even care if, like, people know. I don't really care if people know. What I do know is that I care about what I know for myself. And that's what matters most, is what I know for myself. This isn't about money. This is about what's right. And I'm still not understanding how easily it is to go before a court, stand before a judge with no evidence, and accuse someone of something with, again, only a story, a convincing story that wreaks havoc in someone's life. Sometimes probably far worse than my havoc was. But there are people who have not had, they harm themselves. Like, there's a number of things that people have done because they feel like they're so far deep that they can't come out, and no one believes them and no one's listening, and they feel hopeless, and they just, y'all, I can't even put into words how damning it is for people to falsely use a court system to accuse someone. And then when someone really does need to get help. So because people need help, we believe everyone. I'm sorry, but there needs to be some sort of like preliminary, like, screening that happens before you stand before a judge and like tell them your story and like get an ex parte and then like do all of these things, because that just ain't right. So that's the injustice that just does not sit well with me. I'm just saying. Lie detector tests, yes. Although, to my knowledge, they're not reliable. I don't know. They're not reliable. All right. I don't know for sure. Again, I don't know for sure. I just want to cover my tracks. Okay? They're not reliable to me. I think I've read that somewhere, that it's not like super reliable, but they have been used in like, man, like I don't know much about lie detector tests, but I do know that they would be really helpful if they worked. Kept me away from, yes, absolutely. That's right. So anyways, this little topic has reared its ugly head once again because I have been to blame for recent comments on this other person's videos pertaining to her life and her decisions that she's making. And anyone who's making honest opinions or comments must be part of my community. For example, there was one lady, her name was Peg. Peg was targeted, and I'm not going to say her last name, but her name was Peg. Peg was targeted, said, you're just here stirring the pot. You're from ST, which means story time. And you're here to do the dirty work of your cult leader. Y'all, it's so extra. It's petty like that. And poor Peg is not even a member of my group. I reach out to Peg and be like, I'm so sorry. You probably have no idea what any of this means, and I feel really bad. But if you say anything at all that's your honest opinion, you're automatically going to be labeled as a member of my group because you're not even allowed to think for yourself. That's sad. So I just wanted to be just like, hey, Peg, you can be in our group if you want to. We will accept you. We will not falsely accuse you. We will not berate you. So do I think that every person here that doesn't agree with me is from that community? No. No, I'm on the internet. People are going to just stumble in and they're going to be like, what is this chick doing? I don't like her face. I don't like her braids. I don't like her hat. She talks too much. She's been here for an hour and still hasn't crafted. What's wrong with her? I have nothing to say about that. Because those people really do stumble in. I'm not going to blame them and be like, you just must be from that place over there. No, not likely. Could they be? Sure. They could totally be from that place. But am I going to automatically assume that they are? No. No, I'm not going to do that. But I will say this. Stand up for yourself. Don't let someone, I don't care how old you are. I don't care how young you are. I don't care how sweet you are. That is another thing I get super triggered by is the be kind. Y'all have heard me say this before. I get super triggered by the be kind movement because I feel like it is 100% a manipulative tool that people use so that they can get away with being rude. If you say something to someone, they're like, be kind, be kind. No, you do not get a free pass for being the way you're being. No. I don't like that. If you can be anything in this world, be honest. Be honest. Because if you're being honest, sometimes being honest is also being kind to yourself, not being a doormat to others. So I'm really triggered by that. And some of you guys might understand that as well. I'm not saying don't be kind. What I'm saying is that is not how the world works. I've seen too many people take advantage of people with the whole be kind movement. No, be honest. Because if you're being honest with yourself, sometimes those people that you're being kind to don't belong in your life anymore. And that's why you're depressed. Because you need to be kinder to yourself. Y'all, I'm full of all the tips and advice. And I don't have a degree in anything. You're not obligated to forgive anyone. No. But here's the thing. There is something about forgiving someone else that releases that power that you still allow that person to have over you. And forgiveness isn't that they got away with something. And that's the thing that most people that's a whole topic I could spend hours talking about, because people get so wrapped up in the forgiveness part of things that people will also use that as a manipulation tool. It's like, you should forgive them. If you would just forgive and forget. This is not a forgiveness problem. You can forgive someone in a matter of seconds. What's the problem is that, it's like when you go to the doctor and it's like, oh, it's like an extraction. You're numb, you're in, you're out, and then you go home and then you gotta recover. Your face is swollen. You've got gauze packed in your mouth. You're like, what the heck is this? You're numb. You've bit your tongue 12 times. There's an aftermath thing of something that's just like that, because it leaves remnants. And I don't care what anybody says. When you forgive someone, it does not mean that you forget, and then you have to go and heal yourself from that trauma that you experience. I'm not a professional. I'm just sharing my own thoughts with you. But this is the thing. Forgiveness is not like a light switch. Forgiveness is, I've forgiven them. Yes, you forgive them. But you have to find a way not to beat yourself up about something. And if you forgive someone, you also have to say, hey, I forgive you, but this is now the new boundaries. This is now the new way our relationship is, because I'm not going to go back to the old ways. If I'm forgiving you, moving forward, now it has to look vastly different. And so there's a whole perspective of like an adventure that you have to go on. But forgiveness is for you to find your own closure. And if a person thinks that forgiveness is for them, all it is an off the hook pass. And that's why I really struggle with the whole like forgiveness. And listen, forgiveness isn't the problem. It's the trauma that you're left with after you've forgiven the person that you now have to fight with to be an overcomer. Because if you choose to be in a relationship with that person moving forward, now you have to look at them and be reminded while still forgiving. Y'all, it's a thing. It's a thing. And that's why forgiveness it should be super, it's like people are like, it should just be super simple. It's like, it's not a light switch. It's like an extraction. It's like a tooth extraction. The thing is gone. You've forgiven it, but it's the remnants left behind. It's very difficult for people. So I have a real difference of mindset with a lot of people. The way that I think about things is very different than most people. So again, the psychiatrist or psychologist, whoever is 100% right. Forgiveness, you don't ever have to forgive someone. Should you? Probably, because it's going to find a better way to heal yourself, because through the forgiveness, you find your boundary. Because if you truly forgive that person, you find that boundary, you don't leave the door open for them to continue to do it again. So there's the closure. You move forward with new boundaries, a new relationship. And then as long as they don't reoffend, then you have to let it go. And you have to truly move forward. You know what I'm saying? So if you can't find that path, it's 100% right. There's no law that says you have to forgive someone. Now, is there a biblical or a religious foundation of that forgiveness? Yes. I believe that. I truly believe that. Absolutely. Yeah, don't let somebody corner you. Don't let somebody guilt you. Don't let somebody Bible you. I said that earlier. Don't let somebody throw scriptures at you. Don't do it. If people are throwing scriptures at you, I said it early on, and if you missed my little, craft talk, you should go back and watch the beginning, because I'm telling you right now, I believe that I have a pretty logical mindset, although some of y'all might disagree with some of the things I think and feel. But y'all, this is how you get through life. I just have to find my own way of understanding. But it is absolutely true. I do not need somebody to tell me, well, you are just not a Christian if you sue someone. I mean, me and God are on the same page. It's between me and him. And I didn't think that he gave you the memo to invite you into the conversation for you to decide what that looks like for me and him. Okay? So worry about you. Second of all, you're judging. So that's how I know that God did not give you that whole go ahead to tell me what a terrible Christian I am for doing anything. So there's that. That's how I feel. Anywho, empower yourself, people. Empower yourself. Had that happen yesterday with tossing scriptures at me. I said, love you very much. Goodbye. You got to. You got to. You got to. You got to. You placed an order on March 7th, so I haven't received a tracking number. Send us an email. Monday, so I haven't received a response. We responded to everyone. I'm not sure if you sent it to the right email address. Sometimes, if you send it to the wrong email address, it could be a problem. So try resending it, because we're all caught up on our emails. Sometimes you might type in the wrong letter. It might go to the wrong place. I don't really know for sure, but those orders should be going out tomorrow. All right, let me paint the top of these. These are also part of our little pots. Well, this is super simple. Just paint it together. How's Michelle feeling? She is feeling like escaping her body. Escaping her body. Today she was like, this is just not normal. I was like, childbirth takes time. Labor takes time. I was like, think about it. Back in the day, people be like laboring for days. Nowadays, we just go into a hospital, they hook us up to all these medications, and then it's like, wow, we have a baby. All right, so let me do this back here. Michelle and Avery's craft was adorable. It really was. I agree. All right, the green I'm using for the leaves is light avocado. Cheryl, I'm pretty sure that you're the one that said that. Yes. You did it for you and not him. So I can relate. I have an ex-husband and he was not a present, positive role in my older two sons' life. So much so that I tried everything I possibly could to try to like involve him, driving them there, picking them up, taking groceries, like trying to give him every opportunity to make a better choice. And the choice he ended up making was himself. Every time, the choice was himself. And I just could no longer continue to battle that. But what I will say is this. I was super angry with him for many, many years because I felt like, you know what? You lived a single life with no children. You didn't pay your child support. You didn't go to doctor's appointments. You didn't do teacher conferences. You didn't have to figure out how to pay for Christmas. You didn't have to figure out how to buy the clothes. You just figured out how to be you and be on drugs and do all these other things and not be any sort of role model, okay? Fast forward. I think that I also had to mature because I was 20. I didn't really feel like I had the whole like, I'm good, I'm done with this until I was probably almost 30. I was almost 30. And at that point in time, I was just like, you know what? There ain't nothing I can say. There ain't nothing I can do that's going to change this person. He is who he is. And it does not matter that he has children. He will always put himself first. He is not a selfless person. He's not going to sacrifice anything. He's not going to give up himself to be a good dad. None of the above. And as soon as I accepted that, I was kind of able to like observe the fact that I can try to force him to be a dad. But then at that point, he's not making the choice to be a dad. I don't want to force someone to be a parent. I just want them to choose that. And so every day of my life, I made it very clear that my choice was always going to be my children over myself. And I never, ever, ever wanted them to think that they were not number one. Because not only were they number two, I was also number two. He didn't care. He didn't want to be married. He didn't want the burden of family. He didn't want the obligations. He didn't want any of those things. It was very hard. But yeah, I was angry. I was super angry about that. But I had to find my closure. I had to let it go. And you know what? The man still owes like almost $30,000 in child support. It's not a lot. Not a lot. And he doesn't care. Like, he does not care. In fact, my husband wanted to adopt them and he would not, even though he had literally no obligation. Like, he didn't obligate himself whatsoever to like be the active fatherly role. My husband did that. My husband wanted to adopt my older two, and he would not sign over his rights. And he basically told me that I would be forcing him. Yeah, no, I'm not forcing you to do anything. You're already making that choice. You're already not present. You're just, you're just being petty at this point. So the thing was, if he didn't do it, once they became adults, my husband could. But at that point, there was like really no choice, like no point. So they didn't need him to adopt them. It's pretty clear who their parent is. And we don't need a DNA test to show that, nor do we need him to adopt them legally. We don't need any of that. So it's hard. It's hard when you have like different dynamics and different situations to go through stuff. Believe me. Did I know that they can sue him for child support? I did not know that. Never heard of that. Our divorce was in Indiana, so I don't know if there's like state laws or state rules. I'm gonna dry those and paint the edges. So y'all, there's a lot that we encounter in our lives that each of us have a story to tell. Each of us has an encounter that someone else might not understand because someone may not have ever had children or ever was divorced or understand what that looks like. Some people might have had the absolute best parents on the planet and they just cannot understand how someone else didn't. And so that's part of the understanding of like how I was saying like earlier, like an hour and a half ago, how we're all different, how we're all so very different. I mean, probably. Handing over his rights doesn't have anything to do with anything. Zach is almost 30. He is 27. He's almost 27 years old. And I'm sorry, he's been grown for a hot minute. He's been grown for almost 10 years, and that man has made one attempt to be present. And he was only in this area because of a job. Not even because he made a special trip to see his sons. No, he did none of that. So, no. Can't force them, though. You just can't force them. Okay, I'm going to paint these two green as well. No, it's just hard. It's hard because I could not imagine. I just couldn't imagine. I can't imagine. Nope, no baby yet. No baby. Michelle's birthday's tomorrow, in case anyone wanted to know. She wants to go to Jim and Nick's so that she can get the muffins. Basically, that's it. She's told me that today. I was like, so tomorrow we're going to Jim and Nick's for your birthday. And she's like, I'm just going for the muffins. She's just going for the muffins. That's okay. It's her birthday. So pretty much when my kids were growing up, I let them like pick their dinner, their birthday dinner. I let them decide if they wanted a cake or not. When they got old enough to tell me no, they were all like, we hate cake. Stop giving us a birthday cake. And I was like, well, what do you want? And Zach loved chocolate lasagna. Dylan loved like cake balls. He loves carrot cake. He's like, I don't want a birthday cake, but I would love a carrot cake or a German chocolate cake. And I'm like, oh, there's been like pie. They just have their own personalities of what they like. Me, I'm a little bit different. I'm like, don't give me anything. Just skip it. Don't even give me nothing. So anyways. Oh, my little sponge was stuck. So I'm gonna do my flower the same as the center of this. Right here. We're gonna do it yellow. Happy birthday, Michelle, right? She's gonna be 27. Zach is a little bit older than Michelle, not by much, but she is going to be 27. And then we were talking day before yesterday, and he was like, oh my God, I'm almost 30. I was like, oh my God, I'm almost 50. And he was like, stop the madness. I was like, listen, you're the one that's way younger than I am. Why are you so bothered? Why are you so bothered? I mean, I'm just saying. I'm the one who's like super old. All right. We're going to do all of these white as well. So let's do our flower petal. We did our flower petals white. I'm going to glue those on. Let's do to be 27 again, 100%. If I could be this is what, like, if I could have like a genie wish, I would want to go back in time, knowing what I know, still have my children, but make better choices, like still have like all the things that I have now, but like maybe like do better in other areas. Maybe. I don't know. All right, we're going to do the Stands brown. I'm so young. I'm only as old as I feel. I agree. Although I feel like I'm getting a little touch of arthritis. I'm really sick and tired of menopause. My doctor has told me that I'm going to go through the different like phases of menopause. I've gone through the hot flashes. I didn't go through like the weight issue until here recently, where I just have like the ups and downs of that. I just have to get past it. It is what it is. And then, but I am past the menopause part of the hot flashes, night sweats. Those are very rare. I don't really have them near as much as I did before. They were quite often, like almost every 15 minutes. It was so bad. So I'm kind of glad to be on the other side of that. But y'all, whoever thought menopause, like, I don't even know what God was thinking when he was like, let's do that. That sounds like a plan. Listen, I don't know who was on his board at the time for that meeting, but people should have voted no. People should have voted no. Not that that's even how that works, because I'm pretty sure it doesn't work that way. But I do believe that when I get to heaven and I have to go and like stand before God, I hope that he's like, there's a line of people who have like a binder. I hope I'm the binder girl, because I have questions and I want him to be like, here's your binder of all the times you said, when I get to heaven, I'm going to have a talk with God. And I want to be able to go through all those questions, be like, so, 1995. Okay. What was this? 1997. Okay. Tell me about this. All of this year, I need to know all the things, because I just don't understand God sometimes. And then I want to be like, and then last but not least, what were you thinking when it came to like the whole menopause thing? My binder is color coded. Michelle's binder will be color coded. You never had hot flashes? Okay, that's going in my question book. God, I know you're up there listening. Listen, get my binder right now and be like, okay, why did some and not others? I just gotta know. I just gotta know. Was he trying to teach me something? I don't know. How to endure. Like, I get it. I really want to know all the answers. 66 and have problems with menopause. Oh gosh. You know, I feel like mine's a little more erratic. I think it's probably because I have polycystic ovarian syndrome. So that probably plays a role, and I still have my ovaries, but they don't function properly. I really would like to just donate them because they're not doing any bit of good. Be like, can I utilize the donor card now? Like, I mean, I want to be an organ donor, but can I do it like sooner? I wish that was an option. Anyone else think that? Like, I have some fat cells I'd love to donate. Some gray hairs. Let me just go ahead and do that. PCOS wreaks havoc on your body. Yes, it does, Gwen. Yes, it does. I didn't really realize that I had it until I started having, like, one of the signs was, number one, the irregularity. Number two, it was the adult acne was one of the symptoms that even started making anyone curious about it. That's one of the things that you can battle with. Some people don't know. If we could get Mother Nature through menopause, right? Right? Donate some of that? Yes. Yeah, I agree. Oh, I want to be a donor. Definitely want to be a donor. Right, this is the stand for the Mother Nature is confused too. It's true. You are not wrong. All right, I'm going to let those dry, and now I'm going to do all of these little flourishes in white. And I think I have a white sponge right here. We're going to do all of them white. Yo, this is just my own, for my own style. This is definitely not something you have to do. This is a brand new craft kit. Again, no purchase is necessary. I did put it in the description in case anybody wanted to get it because you love it as much as I do. But this is just really fun. So I have this spot in my laundry room where the bunny girl and bunny boy are. And so I want to put these there kind of after, I was going to say Christmas, but it's not Christmas. I was going to put them there after Easter. And Easter is this month this year, so it's coming up pretty quickly. So I thought these would be kind of cute on that stand in there. Yeah, so anyways, I know that my conversations are not always super entertaining or super eventful, and I don't really want to, like, they always say, like, drama creates viewers and attention. I just really don't want to use things that have happened in my life to create drama. I want to use those things that have happened in my life to help other people just maybe, I don't know, understand or relate and be able to take action and be confident in themselves. But I also want people to know that while I might not talk about you if you're a bully or a naysayer or whatever, the only person that you're hurting, honestly, at the end is yourself. You're only hurting yourself. And that is the truth. And if you're a person who is falling prey to people like that, the best thing you can do for yourself is stand up for yourself. All right, I'm gonna do a little sanding, not a super mega bunch of sanding. I always say that and then I feel like I get overboard. I don't have time for drama. I just want peace. Hey, listen, I agree. Here's the thing. Sometimes creating peace means you become a doormat. And I don't really want to be a doormat. But that's true. I agree. I want peace too. I was doing a Bible reading on peacemakers. How the Bible talks about, blessed are the peacemakers. And the thing about the peacemakers is they weren't doormats. They were the one that were the negotiators. They were the pursuit of peace. Pursuit means to chase after something. They weren't the avoiders. They weren't the people pleasers. You know what I'm saying? Study that one. What? Kathy. First of all, Kathy, I challenge you. Kathy. I challenge thee, Kathy, to seek out one box over the weekend. One box that seems less intimidating. And I challenge you, Kathy, to give yourself permission to completely, royally fail. Here's why. As soon as you do that, and you start something and you learn from, do something simple. Okay, start with the back of everything. Don't even paint the front of it. Start with the back. Okay, it sounds crazy, but I'm telling you it's truth. As soon as you start something and you see what you're capable of, you're going to give yourself permission to take risks and try new things. And you're going to then be so proud of yourself. Progress has to be attempted. Okay? It can't remain in the box. Open your neat little boxes and challenge yourself. I was trying to think of something that was like, that is the treaty that has been issued in this instance before this congregation. Just made it up. Linda, follow in the same path as Kathy. Linda, I hereby issue this declaration. That's what it is, a declaration. That you will find a single box that seems less intimidating. You will give yourself permission to fail. It's only paint and glue. Yes, you got this. And then I challenge you to show us what you did. Show us what you did, because you can do it. Even if it's like not the great, like, listen, do you see me? I'm over here painting with sponges. Go Kathy, go Linda, go Kathy, go Linda. Don't make me make up a song. I'm not even really good. Yeah, there's a lovely kit of wildflowers. Yeah. Yes. Edith is like, listen, girl, I got you. Hit me up. I got you. Right? We're going to be waving the flags. Go, Kathy. Go, Linda. We're going to all have t-shirts. We're a mess for sure. Okay. We're an absolute hot mess. But you know what? You can do it. You can do it. You are brave. You're courageous. I know it sounds silly because it's just crafting. That is what I tell, like, that is the things that we say to the little granddaughters. When today, just let me tell you a story, okay? I'm going to stand and I'm going to tell you a story. So today, I was at work until obviously super late because we were trying to, you know, get caught up on stuff because we're going to be going out of town just, you know, for a little bit. And my husband was like, little Riley wanted to ride the four-wheeler. Wanted. And so my husband was like, okay. The first time that girl saw the four-wheeler, she was petrified. She was trying to like climb over her parent and like attach herself to the back. She was terrified. Didn't want to be on it, didn't want to be near it, didn't want nothing. So we didn't really bother her. We didn't, you know. And then her dad pulled up and I was on the four-wheeler. Me and Dylan had been out, he was riding around. And so Zach got there, he had Riley. And I said, hey, do you want to come see me? And she was like, no. I was like, well, you can be brave. You could be courageous. And I said, do you just want to like come close and touch it? Well, then she touched it and she was like, let me hold her. And I was like, oh, let's be real brave. So I was like, do you want to go for a ride? And we're going to ride to the house and you can get off immediately. And she was like, okay. Ever since she had that terrified encounter and then she had another encounter, like we just keep telling her, like, you are so brave. You are so courageous. You can do it. And they know that sometimes it's okay to be brave and be scared at the same time. But I can relate because I'm terrified of flying. So anyways. All right, so these two go together like this, stacked. This one and this one, oops, goes together like this. And then the same one, these are the same. So there's nothing different, okay? Okay, they're the same size, so you can't mess it up. All right, this one gets the little piece that matches this. And then this one on the leaf gets the piece that matches this. And so before you go gluing anything, just find your pieces, okay? So this one looks like this one. So it's just a matching game. So I'm gonna set that together like so. And then this one looks like this. So just like that. And then the bottom down here looks like this one. And you can see it. Now these are just tabbed. These are all individual pieces. There's just a little piece holding them together. So you can break them apart if you want to. I'm not doing that, so I'm gonna be okay with that. But there's a little outline on there. And so if you wanted to do these like in a rainbow of colors, different colors in your pattern, you can do that. So my pieces all look like they go together like this. So now I'm gonna sand just a little bit and then I'm gonna glue them together. This is like the final stuff. It is gonna be every day because it's not like it's super spring, but it's not like it's super summer, but it can kind of be like year round. Yes, so I'm doing mine more year round, for sure. I'm not gonna glue that on yet. Let me finish sanding this. Now this might come apart after I sand it, but that'll be okay. don't want it to come apart, but it might. I just did like it's cinnamon stick, but I did a terracotta color because I feel like that's really cute. All right, I'm gonna glue my piece onto the pot. Just like so. We got this. So see how that's glued on there? And then I'm gonna glue this to this. And because these are individual pieces, I'm gonna glue on the back of all of them so that they all get stuck. And then make sure that your slot is good at the bottom because you have a stand that it goes on. All right, I'm gonna sand the little leaf right here. Just a little. And then this goes on the front of there like that. And I'm gonna add a little extra. And then it's gonna get glued on to the front like this. So it kind of looks like a terracotta pot. See how it looks? It looks really cute. There we go. All right, now I'm gonna sand this leaf. And then I'm gonna glue this on to that little spot right there. It's like a little fancy leaf. There we go. Make sure when you glue it on that you don't glue it into that little spot right there where the flower falls in that little groove, because then it won't fit right. All right, we're gonna sand our flower. It's a little tulip. Now I did yellow. And then I'm gonna add the white, little fancy. It's a cute one. I just was thinking, like, y'all, if Marion has really got 6 months to live, I really truly hope that she, wherever she's at, whatever she's doing, that she finds like the best life to live in the next 6 months. Because, you know, at the end of the day, if someone were to tell me that, like, I would be like, I am done with social media. There's nothing on social media that I need to be a part of. I'm gonna go and like be living my life. But then there's some people who can't do that. There's some people who cannot do that, and I completely understand that. But hopefully she took something positive from our conversation, and she's gonna live a joyous life. Early appointment in the morning. Yes. Good luck with your appointment. I hope it's a good appointment. If not, I hope that there are good results to your appointment. Good results to your appointment. Yes, good night, Christine. Y'all, how cute. Just super cute. I hope that doesn't happen. Honestly, I really do. I hope that doesn't happen. I mean, I know it is, but I feel like things could be different for people. I really, truly do. All right. Oh, this is going to be really cute. That's cute. All right, let's do the next one. It only took us all night to get to this point. Imagine that. Imagine that. All right, let's match up the next pieces. So I know this for sure goes on that flower. So this flower center has that little piece, and that's this one. And that's gonna go there. This one goes right there, and then this one goes right here. All right, so let me sand our leaves. So the sanding tones down the colors quite a bit. Let's do the center of our flower. I did a white one for this. Let's sand this a little gently. Add the glue to this instead. So tonight my husband made pork chops. Tuesdays he goes to a meeting, so he ate when he got home, which is one of the #1 reasons why I was late coming on is he went to his meeting. I got home late, so I was like, you know what? I can go live later. We can have our little crafting, coffee, and conversation. But it was, you know, we have to make the time, even when we feel like we don't always have the time. So. This is probably a little bit more distressed than the other one, but I think it looks good. I'm gonna glue this in the center of the flower. And just do it kind of like that. Trying to get it in the center. Oh, thank you. Your daughter cooked tacos, so proud of Mark. I am too. I am too. There was a recent situation with someone. Y'all know the story. I just didn't say who or what or any of the things. Nevertheless, that person tried to use his past to make accusations with no evidence. So we brought all of our evidence. Yeah. I don't have time for that. Shady people. And then they're running for office. Bless their soul. That would be a no for me. So I have thought about going around to the signs here in town. And it says, vote for blank blank for whatever the position is or whatever. And I just want to be like, add the word don't. Like just like, you know, a little like sold sticker on a house, like a for sale sign, just put a don't vote. But I'm using self-control. Y'all, I feel like this is where I'm like, if somebody has thoughts and they're like, why is everyone always just get away with stuff? I don't understand it. Never for the life of me. And there is still a lockbox on our front door. Jesus. But I do believe that the 5-year-old who recorded the conversation did save the day. I hate throwing away food. I do too. I'm not one that likes leftovers. My husband gives me a hard time about that. I'm like, you just don't understand. I just don't like leftovers. It's a thing. Careful what you say. You'll be blamed if anyone does it. Oh, I'm not going to do it. For sure. I said I wanted to, but doesn't mean I would. I'm not that stupid. But if someone did that, I mean, there would be fingerprints. It wouldn't be mine. There would be like tire tracks, wouldn't be mine. Like all these things, I'm like, it would definitely not be me because I'm not like that. But doesn't mean I don't like think. Like, oh gosh, I really thought about just like, don't do it. But I will say this, I'm not going to go and vandalize something. But if I could put my own sign in my yard. And I could tell you what my own sign would say. Please vote for this person to fix my house. That would work for me. That I would do. That I would do. Because that would be my, like if you. I almost forgot to sand this. Let me sand these. Any soup next day is better. Ooh, I agree. Same with lasagna. So my family believes that like spaghetti is better the next day. Sometimes you want to go. Oh, I don't really want to go as low. Some stuff is better the next day. Some stuff I'm like, no, I don't really care for that. I don't really want to go as low because I don't really feel like you can get as low. But I will say, I truly don't understand. And I just put my thumb right in the glue. I truly just don't understand. All these little petals are going on here. So super cute. Oh, you did. Yeah. Oh, there's already people who have complained. We're not the only people. In fact, the person told me about a story about someone else who had left a negative review, and I was like, oh gosh, why would they do that? What terrible people. Gullible. And then I realized, wow, the warning was there. I should have known better. And again, I trust people. I trust people, and doesn't mean I'm not going to trust people. Sometimes you trust people and you get burned. But, you know, it is what it is. That flower is so precious. You know this is cute. You cannot deny it. Maybe you can, maybe you can't. I don't know, but so super cute. We're going to do our little picture over there. Y'all, it's been a late night. I know it's super late. We were chatting. I was chatting. Y'all were listening. Some of y'all were chatting too, but I didn't see half of it. Thank you. I don't know how that would work. When is your election? Yours is today. I don't know. I don't know. I wish I could say that I knew. The two flowers together are just really cute. I will say this. I wish I would have added a little more white to the tulip, but it is what it is. There's nothing really I could do about that because it's already glued on there. All right, the picture, this piece, like I said, these are just tabbed on there. They might come off. I'm gonna go ahead and sand this. And then I'll sand that piece and glue it on. And I did the color Blue Mist. Now, I'm choosing not to take all of these individual pieces apart, but you can. I'm just doing them all together. They seem to be pretty durable. I will say, I like the little, the lighthouses I have that are like this style. They're really cute. I need to bring them home because they would be really cute. I have a couple spots that I could put them. Number one, they would be really cute on the tier tray over there. But this is kind of the same style. There's a butterfly set that I cut. I haven't put it together yet. It's really cute too. And then there's also a, what was the other one? Something else. Flowers. There were flowers. I didn't get those done. I did this one instead. But these are really cute. I'm gonna have to glue this and then I'll have to sand that spot there. I feel like I got all the pieces. Oops. This is so cute. Gotta move quick with this stuff. And I'm gonna glue this one right here. I love the color I chose. I mean, how cute are these? Those of us who don't sleep right, we must be related. We have to be. And the thing is I literally will get like 3 or 4 hours of sleep and then I just can't, I don't stay asleep. But I don't want to go on a sleep aid either. But I do feel like this can only go on for so long before I have to go on like, I don't want to take prescriptions. I'm super I don't want to say I'm super anti-pharma, but kind of. I'm like, unless I am absolutely so desperate to take medications, I just really don't want to. Somebody's going to be like, but it could help you. It could. It could. I'm just super, I don't know. I don't know how to explain it. I'm super sensitive to medication. So anytime I take something, I feel like my body is like, it reacts negatively or it works too well. And I just have to know my limits for that. This is so cute. Oh my gosh. So cute. That is precious. Tell me it's not. It's the colors, y'all. It's the colors. This by itself is just so fun. It's so fun. All right, let's add our stand. So you get all 3 of these in this kit. Use them wherever you want to, use them all together, use them separately, put them in the windows in your kitchen, whatever you want to do. Like, I don't have any windows or else I would, but I'm going to put these in my laundry room. I have this cute little stand in there. And so I definitely want to do that. I just think it would be really cute. All right, let's let that set. It's leaning just a smidge. I'll hold it in place. Get a sip of my coffee. My husband loves tea. Him and my mother-in-law are like avid tea drinkers. I'm not really a tea drinker. Try melatonin. I have tried melatonin and I find that it doesn't do anything. It does nothing for me. I wish that it did, believe me. Maybe it's the brand. I don't know if there's a brand of melatonin that works better than others. I just feel like melatonin would be melatonin. I could be wrong. Let me wipe all of this stuff up here. So cute. So cute. So cute. I tried to pick colors that coordinated. Like the yellow kind of goes to the blue, then the green, and then there's like the white, and then I put the yellow in the flower. Then I did all white accents. I did terracotta pot colors. I did all the stands like a stain color. And then I was like, oh, we need a cute picture. We need a cute picture. How precious are these? So cute. So cute. But this one right here, this is my favorite. Like even with these two together, like these are just cute. And you could do all of your pots the same color as your picture. That would be really cute too. Like coordinate them. Coordinate them. So of course, you know, I'm going to live my best life. I'm going to take these to work with me. I'm going to take a really cute picture and then I'm going to show you what happens. Like I'm going to show you what happened when I took pictures. They're very cute. But in my laundry room, there is this like shelf that I got. It's like a 2-tiered shelf. It's super big. It's kind of chunky. If you guys remember when I did like the cozy gnomes, I put like all 3 of the cozy gnomes on like the top shelf. I also did like our fall gnomes went on there. And so I've got the Easter, the bunny, boy, and girl on that shelf right now. It's just a portable, like you can, it's just, it has a handle. You can move it around. But I have this little like alcoved area where I haven't put the floating shelves in my laundry room. And so I just kind of keep decorating this little spot in just a fun way. It's just a really fun. And so I want to be able to take the bunny off and like add something else that's more spring and colorful. And the laundry room has like brick floors. And so I kind of felt like this would be really cute in there on that stand. The stand is black. I'll show it to you. There's laundry right now on that stand, but I'll go show it to you guys so you guys can see it in case you haven't seen it. But look at this. Look at this. Look how cute. And then our little flower, like this. See what I mean about the color? I feel like I could have probably did a different color. Like maybe a lighter yellow. I don't know. But those are just, they turned out so super cute. So I'm going to show you the laundry room's a little dark. So let me go. We also have our laundry. Like I said, we're in the middle of doing laundry. There's our little light. So see the little bunny girl. Where's the bunny boy? Oh, I moved the bunny boy. So the bunny girl, these do not go like this at all. This is what happens though when I come in here and go exploring. So, do you see like this little spot right here? This is the shelf. Oh, I took the plant out of there too. Let me put my plant back. Put my plant back in there. This laundry is not supposed to be here. It goes in my closet. But nevertheless, this is the shelf. I have no idea where I got it. I can't remember. Usually they leave the tags on for that very reason. Because someone's going to ask me, where did you get that shelf? It does need dusted, by the way. It's kind of dusty. But I want to be able to put the pot, like the pitcher with the 2 plants up here. I think that would be really cute. I've got like our howling cow down there. I've got like our metal, like man and woman. I've got like this here, these little trays. This we made gosh, so long ago. This is a Dollar Tree trophy. If you don't believe me, it strobes. We covered it in a napkin. And then I put greenery around it. I was going to do one. This is M for my husband, Mark. And I was going to do one with an A. And then I was like, let me do another craft. Let's I got so distracted. So nevertheless, I still use this. And y'all, that was a long time ago. That was so long ago. I have this flower back here. I have yet to put my Easter sign back up. Let me do that really quick before we forget. I'm just going to set you right here just for a second. I'm going to put my Easter sign on my door. Move this over. There we go. So let me show you. There it is. It did make itself back to the house. And then there's a little grassy plant. There's this little pitcher. These are the girls' clothes. So I want to put that stuff we did tonight in this little shelf here. And then I have a stand that I usually keep in this drawer on this other side. That way, I have an example to show everyone. I have to go through all of our mail, y'all. We have so much mail. This one got moved. This is our screen door. And it's in the corner. And then our little boot that we did. So cute. The door with the Easter sign. Yeah, so all of our doors, we have the 5-panel door. We have the screen door. And then we have a barn door. So those are the alternative to displaying our 5-inch rounds. It kind of looks like a door hanger. So it's really cute. So those are in the shop as well. If you go to the collection stands and I think it's sign stands, you'll find it there. And I did bring home my houses kit from our box and I stuck it right there. Well, it's dark in here. I stuck it there. The other one is over here. I brought that one back home. And then a lot of this stuff will get pulled out for St. Patrick's Day is over, but you can clearly see I've done nothing about it. Nothing. I've done nothing about the fact that St. Patrick's Day has surpassed us. But I'll be ready for next year. I'll be ready for next year. Oh, bless it. Y'all, I can't make this up. When I tell you my life is a hot mess, I mean it. Absolutely mean it. And you know what? I'm not the least bit worried. I'm not the least bit bothered by the fact that I still have St. Patrick's Day floating around. I'll deal with it this weekend. Before you moved, do you think you had at least one of every holiday season decorating your house? Cheryl Miller, I hope so, because that means you're living your best life. Watch out, Mark will pack them. So, some of y'all don't know this, some of y'all do. We got the shed. We got a shed. We planned on parking our 4-wheelers in the shed. That did not happen. Y'all, it was a nightmare trying to get them suckers in and out of that thing. Should have known better. Did I listen? Not really. Nevertheless, the shed has become the storage unit. We have our storage unit still. Okay. There's been something happening at some point, and then we're just tired and don't want to do anything on the weekend, so we do nothing. We still have our storage unit. In the storage unit is boxes. Our Christmas boxes. And I cannot wait for those boxes to arrive because I'm going to use myself the excuse of, hey, let's purge. Let's purge. what's in the boxes. Like, let's not store what we don't need anymore. Just so I can go through all the boxes and find the stuff that isn't Christmas in the Christmas stuff. Otherwise, I'm waiting until Christmas to see what's in the boxes. Because otherwise, I'm not going to go in them. I'm not going to get in them. What does Mark think of all my crafts? He doesn't. He likes them because I like them. Mark got exactly what he wanted. After all the years we've been married, I asked him early on when we first started dating. I had my own home. He was still living in his mom's basement. He moved into my house, my apartment. I asked him, like, what is your style? What do you like? And he was like, black and white, everything. Everything crisp and clean and black and white. So the walls are white and gray. White trim, black windows, black hardware, white cabinets. Okay, we've been married 20 plus years. And he got everything he wanted for in this house. Now, the compromise is that I get to do all the putting of the stuff. He wanted a pot filler. He got it. Black pot filler. It's right over there. Pretty sure those are the rolls from dinner. Yeah. Oh, he did take the blue bowl that's sitting on the drying mat to the grill, and he put it too close and it burned the whole side. But anyways, what does he think? He likes what I make. He thinks that I'm really, like, he likes the transformation. He likes the things that I make, and he's like, oh, that's really cute. And he knows how much I enjoy it, and so we compromise. Is it his style? No. Does he care? No. He doesn't care. He does not care one bit. You know why? Compromise. He got the screened-in porch. He got the almost grill and chill. Okay, if you don't remember this house being built and you are brand new to this world, let me just tell you this. Every bit of the design of this house I made, every bit of the features about this house is my husband in mind. He wanted an entryway. I do too. He wanted a back porch that's screened in. I did too. But he wanted outdoor living space. He's got an entire, like, whole resort life out there. He wanted a master bedroom that you could literally, like, be in. Like, if we were to get older, like, our room is really big. So if something, you know, let's say we live here all the rest of our lives, we have plenty of room in that room if there was ever the need for, like, a hospital bed or any sort of anything to happen. This home is very accommodating for a handicapped person or an older person. Majority of our living is down. Everything in this house, down to the pantry, is exactly what he wanted. Now, do we both benefit? 100%. But does he care about the crafts I put in here and the decorations? No, he just doesn't care. He doesn't care. And I'm very thankful. He likes the things that I do. He enjoys it. But it doesn't really bother him. He's not super he doesn't care one way or another, you know. But anyways, more than enough thought went into the build. Yes. We had so many. Okay, listen, we've been planning. Did I know exactly all the, like, finalized details of this house? No. But we have been saving and planning for this house for probably 10 years. So we kind of knew when our kids got older, we knew exactly what we wanted. We had to think about, not for our young kids, because we're older, we have to think about our older selves. And then our kids, and then so on and so forth. So it was just like an evolution. But we have a very massive kitchen. He wanted a kitchen. He loves to cook. He loves to bake. He loves all of those things far more than I do. and I have a craft corner. I do really have the whole side of this because, you know, I'm in between places, but we have a large dining room. We have a lot of gathering spaces. We have a separate dining room, like all that stuff. So yeah. But yes, the best thing is all the property we have. We were just talking about that. So today, before I went to work, I was working from home this morning. There's this cluster of trees in the back of our property that my son Zach is like, Mom, those trees. Because we were looking at the grass. We were kind of like just walking around because I had to go like put bleach in the pool. I had to go turn on the pool pump, and I had to go do a bunch of stuff at home this morning. And so we were outside, and I was like, the grass is like really coming along. And so he looks over, he's like, you know what, Mom? Those trees are like the perfect trees for a tree house. Oh my gosh, that would be amazing. And I was like, oh my God, now he wants me to freaking put a tree house back there. So then he starts to tell me all the ways that, you know, this tree house is going to benefit like his kids, then his kids' kids. And I'm like, are you going to build the tree house? Are you going to like do any of those things? Because I don't want to do any of those things. But if somebody else wants to take on that project, like for sure, you can totally glue and drill and build and erect whatever you want to in the trees. Knock yourself out. But this girl is not doing any of that. So now their new thing is they want to build a tree house in the trees. We shall see. If anyone's built a tree house, please send me some sort of information on the do's and don'ts to tree houses, because it does sound like a lot of fun, but I really don't want to take on another project anymore. I'm like, we just got the yard done. Can we just enjoy it and maybe next year do a tree house? I don't know. But nevertheless, now they want a tree house. Never built one. Don't know anything about it. He wants to live vicariously through the young ones. Yes, the treehouse he didn't have. Boys will be boys. He did say, he was like, we'll build it big enough for the adults because the little kids shouldn't be up in the trees like without adults. And I was like, of course you would build it big enough for adults. How many adults will it hold? Will the adults be in the treehouse more than the children? Should we start placing bets? Do you think they're going to want power ran or Wi-Fi access? I wonder if they'll need like AC. I still have to get my shed done. Right. There is a show on tree houses. I can't remember the name. Okay, I'm going to have to Google that. Treehouse Masters. Oh my goodness. I need to look this up. I'm going to tell Zach. I'm like, when you master it, the card games will be in the treehouse. Yeah, they will. Absolutely. I might escape to the treehouse. Just saying. I just might. All right, you guys, the Treehouse Masters. I love it. All right, y'all be blessed. Tomorrow, I probably will not be crafting. We shall see. Tomorrow is Michelle's birthday. It's going to depend on what time I get home. I'm going to try to find the mushroom house, and I'm going to have the cathedral, like the window shelf cut so that I can craft that one. It's going to be hit or miss whether or not we do anything on Friday, depending on when we get back. We shall see. I don't really know, y'all. And then we're still on baby watch. She goes to the doctor on Thursday, so we'll find out more about her progress on Thursday. And who knows, we might have a baby by Sunday. We shall see. But yes, happy birthday to Michelle. Today is, officially her birthday. She was born on March 20th. She is now 27 years old. Since it is tomorrow, it is officially Michelle's birthday. So If you guys feel like really excited and want to show her some love, send her an email and tell her happy birthday. If she woke up to emails that say happy birthday, she's going to feel really loved. I might even send her an email. You don't know, if you don't know Michelle or anything about her, the girl lives for emails. She lives for emails. She lives for her email life. She has them organized. Y'all don't realize her email address is michelle@themakersmap.com. That's what it is. So I'm going to let y'all go. Y'all enjoy your night. Thanks for our little powwow. I hope it was empowering and inspiring to someone. Y'all, we're feeling a little feisty. We spoke up about some things that we found like super like what? But we are powerful. We are, we are warriors. We are important people. We are special. We are valuable. And so we have to speak those things over ourselves. So anyways, y'all be blessed. Have a great day, and I will see you guys next time.